kind of throwing it out there. Do you guys like the Game Awards? Do you guys ever
No.
get to? I know Phoenix is not a fan. I'm the only one I feel like that actually watches it every year, and I hate it afterwards.
It's just become this big ad fest. I mean, it's mostly just trailers and whatnot. I mean, I don't know. It's not a show for me personally, but
It ain't no E3, I could tell you that.
No,
yeah.
there's a lot of filler in this event, man. Every year I watch it, I'm expecting to watch it for like an hour and a half, and it goes on for 3 to 4 hours, and it's like, dude, how much could you possibly have here? I don't know. But yeah, so basically, the Game Awards, they kind of announced their nominees for all of their different awards. I think, well, I don't know, did you guys just want to just look at the Game of the Year? I feel like
Yeah, we don't need to go
that's
through
the
all of
most
these.
interesting stuff.
Maybe as we get closer to the actual show, we can give our predictions on stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to look at what they had for official nominees for Game of the Year and kind of go from there.
Okay. So yeah, they have 6 games. They have a Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles.
So out of that list, Chaz, how many of those have you played?
I have played Elden Ring, although for a short amount of time. God of War Ragnarok and Stray. I've
Okay.
played 3 out of 6, so 50%.
So out of those three, which one would be your Game of the Year?
God of War.
Okay.
And I'm not like, to me, I don't want to say by default, because I am enjoying God of War, but it's not like I don't know, if there were better games, I don't know.
No,
I thought you were gonna go with
understand.
Stray. I think you like Stray
was
so much.
Stray was okay. There wasn't much to Stray. I'll be honest.
I can't believe that's in this list.
How is it even on the list?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Because it's a PlayStation game, I guess. I
I don't know if that's. I
No,
mean, to
it's
be fair,
because it's a cat game.
it's probably. I mean, it's a unique game, so I mean, I'll give them that. There really just hasn't been a huge amount this year. I think it's probably part of it. Out of that list, Serrano, Metal, how many have you played? Did you catch any of those?
I caught a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, did you?
I know that I know it's a good game. I have the first one, and I really wanted to play the other two. I can't fork over $60 to play.
I think those just seem too daunting to me. Like I wouldn't play the third one before I want to do the first one, but I can't go through the first one and then think about the second one and then play the third one.
They're massive, but I can see why that would end up there. Like as far as that, because those games are fantastic.
So just real quick, do you want to just go through I have a list here of 2022 releases, just to blast through and see if there's anything you guys would want on there.
I'm surprised Arceus isn't on there. Like I know
I was just gonna say Pokemon Arceus is right here.
Like, I know that was a little divisive. Not everybody loved it, but I mean, if I'm looking at Stray as a potential candidate, I'd imagine Arceus should be up there as well. So yeah, I would think that should be there.
I hate to say
if you take a look,
I had a lot of fun playing Nobody Saves the World with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a game of the year though. I definitely enjoyed it.
If you go back up again, you'll see that game Paparazzi.
I heard about that
equivalent. That's the equivalent to Stray, pretty much. Just dogs running around doing stuff.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got Seafood, Dying Light, Ollie Ollie World, Crossfire X.
Horizon's there, and that's on the list.
Horizon's further down.
That's the DLC, right?
Yep.
Oh, never mind.
No, that's the new one, right?
I see it. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Was Horizon on the list? It was, right?
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't pick Horizon, and I love Horizon in general. I
remember you weren't super fond of it.
Well, here's the thing. I enjoyed it a lot, but it felt too much like the first game. Like there was almost nothing about them. Like, okay, this is better than the first game. Like I had a couple of moments in it, but the first game to me, stands above that head and shoulders. So it's hard for me to recommend that as game of the year if the prior game was better than it. But
so should Tiny Tina's be on there?
For my fun factor, yeah, I really enjoyed Tiny Tina's. I know it's not, I think, anything overly innovative, which is probably the thing. Like it really is just Borderlands with a new skin on it. So I don't know if I'd say.
I'm almost surprised something like Tunic isn't on there instead of Stray. Like I feel like
is Tunic on any of the indie lists?
Oh, it's probably on an indie list.
Because I'd be surprised if it's not there at all. I feel like that'd be a pretty big oversight.
Best games for Impact, ongoing, indie.
There it is.
It's the last one.
Okay.
It barely made it.
Well, it might be alphabetical.
Got Weird West, major titles I'm looking for. Something Truck to Yomi, no. Evil Dead. Cuphead DLC. That's DLC though.
Mm-hmm.
Or let Pac-Man Museum be a part of it.
Oh, Diablo Immortal. That should be on there.
Yeah, it is on one of them. It's on, I think, the mobile list of top games.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Fall Guys. Although that's like a Fall Guys came out way before.
Yeah, that was just finally released on Xbox and Switch.
I heard Live Alive was pretty good, but that's an old game that got ported.
Yeah, but that I don't think that would necessarily keep it off the list. 'Cause I've seen older remake games end up on the Game of the Year list before.
I think was Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think that was
on
there.
Surprised Cult of the Lamb wasn't on anything, because that was a pretty big one.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to keep going. I was just curious.
But no, that's good. I couldn't remember really what even came out this year. It's been a weird year for games.
I forgot that Splatoon 3 came out.
Oh yeah, I know that's on. I think the multiplayer list.
Yeah.
That is weird. I just thought about it. There's not a Nintendo game on there, is there?
I just
It's
mentioned.
all PlayStation.
Well, on the Game of the Year.
on the thing.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Oh no, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing else crazy. There's Tunic again.
There's a few, I think, oversights from the list. Like, first, I would have thought Arceus should have been on there. Maybe Tunic. I mean, if they're putting Stray on there, I feel like something like Tunic should probably have made it.
I didn't get to play Mario and Rabbids. I wonder. I didn't hear anything about that game. It kind of just came and went.
It came out, it got good reviews, and then just kind of disappeared. I don't know.
Interesting.
Sonic Frontiers.
Well, I will say for me, there is one more game left that could possibly make my list.
Oh, your
Goat
Callisto
Simulator
Protocol.
3. Goat Simulator.
Callisto Protocol, December 2nd.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna
Interesting.
be on. I'm gonna be at a
What the hell is
wedding. On
Wobble Dogs?
December 2nd, I'm gonna be at a wedding.
Wah,
Son of
wah.
You're not getting married. Get out of here.
You hush up. I'm getting married. Yep. What else we got?
That's really about it. I mean, looking at what released this year, I mean, I see why those games they picked are in the list. I don't know.
I see it too. I don't see.
Okay,
I mean, there's some other stuff. We got High on Life coming out in December. Callisto Protocol. There's still some good games.
What's the
coming
cutoff
out.
though? Like, when is the Game Awards? Like, how long does the game need to release before it qualifies? Like, sometimes there's like a window there.
I have no idea how their stuff works, to be honest.
All right, so out of that list, we pull up the actual list of nominees again. So, out of those, I think the two that are going to be vying for the top spot is going to be either
Elden Ring,
Ragnarok
God
or
of
Elder
War.
Rock. So, which one do you think is going to take home?
Which one do I hope, or which one do I think?
Which one do you think is going to win? If you had to do a prediction.
I think God of War. I just think God of War is such a big name. I couldn't imagine Elden Ring, even though Elden Ring had a lot of talk. I couldn't imagine God of War could get knocked off by. I'll be honest. I feel like From Software is big now, but I still think they're. I don't want to say niche. They're not niche. They're a huge developer, but like those games, I don't feel like are totally approachable, in my opinion. I don't
That's
know.
just because you suck at these kind of games, Chaz.
Yes.
No, I get what you're
Exactly.
saying though. I mean, I agree. I think God of War is probably going to take the win. I think it probably should be Elden Ring though, looking at it, just because Elden Ring I think was the more, man, I'm going to get punished for saying this, the more ambitious game. I don't know, like. We'll talk about Ragnarok here in just a little bit, and it's a excellent game. But
Doesn't
Elden
it feel weird? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So doesn't it feel weird to have a game in your Game of the Year list that just came out like 4 days ago? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
how much prior did these guys get the game to play? I mean,
well, to be fair though, like a game like God of War or Ragnarok, like once you experience it, I mean, I think you usually can wrap your thoughts around it pretty quick and gauge your feelings
the
on
same
it.
thing with A Plague Tale. That game just came out like maybe
Yeah,
a
but
week ago.
but they're not. I mean, they're long games, but they're not like like it's a game like Elden Ring has a lot of depth to it. Like you could play that game for hundreds of hours and experience it differently. So that game's gonna take a long time to kind of soak in, I think, and end up at a final score. Something like God of War, like you'll play through it once, And that's probably it for most people, at least for a long time. And you can kind of gauge your experience around that 20, 30-hour playthrough. So, I mean, I think it's, makes sense for it to be here at this point. I mean, it's a game that people have had enough time to play, kind of gather their opinions and thoughts about it. And it's a quality game. I mean, we'll talk more about it here in just a moment, but I don't think anybody can argue that it's not a good game.
Which one? Sorry,
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok? Yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know. I think God of War is going to take it, although personally, I think Elden Ring is probably the more impressive game out of these. And to be fair, I mean, not saying that God of War is not impressive, but I think Elden Ring is more unique, if that makes sense. Ragnarok is very much an extension of the first God of War, the remake one. So, I mean, it's more of that, which is good, but it's just more of that. Elden Ring is kind of a new thing. Like, they haven't really had like an open world Dark Souls type of game. So that fills a very particular niche that wasn't filled before. So I think that alone should qualify it.
For me, I like God of War visually, I felt like to me is more appealing than Elden Ring. The little bit that I did play of Elden Ring.
Yeah, maybe you got demolished those so quick in Elden Ring.
I didn't get to see enough maybe of it. I don't know.
What do you think, Metal? What game should take it home?
Oh boy.
I never even started the timer on this one. I'm really bad at
it. He can finish it up. Yeah. But...
Yeah.
It's hard to say that one. I mean, I watched a little bit of Chaz play Elden Ring, and I thought that was kind of
very
fun.
little bit.
I've never gotten more. I've never been more frustrated. Maybe other than Call of Duty World at War. Like I was like.
Couldn't get past that first bridge boss.
Yeah.
And it's not an uncommon thing. Everyone I've looked up are like people, people who like me didn't like the game. They all complained about that one boss. I'm like, okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, people like those kind of games too. Like they want to be tortured. I mean, when you really think about it,
like it's play, like what is it?
It's like Sekiro. Like you play Sekiro, and it's like freaking just complete demolishment. Like you get wrecked every turn you go.
Yeah.
And people like that stuff, man. It's like hard mode times 10, like every time. So, and from what I'm gathering is if God of War is just like, what'd you say? Like it's a lot like the first one, right? It's like almost.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Almost.
It's a lot like
that's
2018.
good, that's okay, and that's perfectly fine. But I think I'm gonna have to go with you on this one, where it's like if it's something unique about the other game, I would rather choose the other game that's more unique in its own way, in its own sense.
And to be fair, I didn't play Elden Ring either. I just watched Chaz beat his head against a wall, and that was entertaining enough. That was my game of the year moment, just watching him struggle so much.
What was more entertaining, seeing me get destroyed in Elden Ring, or not being able to solve puzzles in Zelda?
The Zelda one was just frustrating. It was more satisfying watching you get slammed to the ground over and over again in Elden Ring. That was like cathartic for me. So
I got the best. I have best friends in the world.
I love you.
Yeah,
but not much.
No.
All right, so I didn't start that timer. That was the worst speedrun segment. So
I just wanted to say
there's
real
our
quick,
timer.
I really enjoyed the first Plague Tale. I would have been very curious to see what my thought was if I ever got to play the second one. I know it just came out, but I really enjoyed the first one. I remember telling Phoenix I thought it was a must-play for... I think we talked about it on podcast. Yeah, I mentioned it. I thought it was a must-play if you have Game Pass. I thought it was really fun. So I would have been curious to see what my thought is on that, but alas...
I'll tell you, I bet Stray's going to win. Like, just because,
I have that.
Well, last year, It Takes Two won. And not saying that It Takes Two wasn't a good game, but I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Stray was not very good, dude. I played it. It was okay.
But man, there's so many cat people out there. It's almost ridiculous.
Some people love that
automatically.
Game,
I mean, they were praising it. Whatever. I mean, it's opinions are opinions. Yes.
2 humans gonna come out of nowhere and win.
2 human, 2, 3 human, 4 human.
5
Castle Crashers 2.
Oh, that's what we need. That would win Game of the Decade, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that company still around?
Behemoth? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it should be.
I don't know what they're doing, but Castle Crashers,
apparently.
They're probably working on Castle Crashers too. If anybody from Behemoth is listening, get on it and give me that early review code.
Yeah, and Valve is working on freaking Half-Life 3 right now.
They skipped 3. They're on like Half-Life 6 right now.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Alien Hominid 2? What?
I wish.
All right, we're going to the big topic.